What's up? 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 How you feeling? How you doing? What's popping? How you been? Hey, look, this is what I want to talk about, guys. Today I want to talk about advice and how should we be living as believers, or not even just that. What is some phenomenal advice that's applicable to every believer, and that if someone's like, hey, what's some advice you have on my walk? What's some advice you have for me? What's some wisdom you can impart to me? What would it be? And I'm going to go over some things that I think would be phenomenal to give to other people and to use for yourselves. So we're going to get right into it, guys. And this is not wisdom for me. This is not my advice to you. All right? My advice, you don't even know who I am. You don't know me. It's going to be advice from Yahuah, from Yahuah's word. So we're going to start with Tobit chapter 4. Tobit's a book in the Apocrypha. I believe it's 100% valid. Go read it for yourself. But we're going to read Tobit chapter 4, verse 5 through 19. Pull it up. You can pull it up on Bible Gateway. You can use the Good News translation. It's there. Or you can go in the Sefer app. But a little bit of context, a little bit of backstory here with Tobit. In chapter 4 of Tobit, he's giving advice to his son. He's imparting wisdom to his son because he believes he's about to die. Why does he believe he's going to die? It's funny. He has so much moon in his life. Like, he's so confident his life is going to come to an end. Like, he's just super confident because some things happened, a lot of hardships, a lot of things built up to this moment. And he pretty much prayed to Yahuah, take my life. Let my life end. End it here now. And he said that prayer, and he's so confident that it's going to come to be. He's so confident Yahuah is going to answer his prayer in that regard, that he's pretty much getting his final affairs together and giving his son his last words. He's literally, in his mind, this is the last thing, the last piece of wisdom and words he can impart to his son. And that's why it's so beautiful. But does Tobit actually get his prayer answered and become killed or have his life ended by Yahuah? Go read it. So, but just side note, it shows his amuna in Yahuah. He prayed for something like having his life ended and taken away, and he's so confident it's going to happen. But Tobit chapter 4, verse 5 through 19. That same day, Tobit remembered the money that he had left with Gabriel at Rages in Media. He thought to himself, now that I've asked Yahuah to let me die, I should call my son Tobias and tell him about the money. That's verse 1 through 4. I shouldn't have read that, but let's keep going. So Tobit called Tobias and said to him, son, when I die, give me a proper burial. And after I am gone, show respect to your mother. Take care of her for the rest of her life. And when she dies, bury her beside me. Remember, she risked her life to bring you into this world. So try to make her happy and never do anything that would worry her. Every day of your life, keep Yahuah our Lua in your mind. Never sin deliberately or disobey any of his commands. Always do what is right and never get involved in anything evil. Be honest, and you will succeed in whatever you do. Give generously to anyone who faithfully obeys Yahuah. If you are stingy in giving to the poor, Yahuah will be stingy in giving to you. Give according to what you have. The more you have, the more you should give. Even if you have only a little, be sure to give something. This is as good as money saved. You will have your reward in a time of trouble. Taking care of the poor is the kind of offering that pleases Yahuah in Shamayim, in heaven. Do this, and you will be kept safe from the dark world of the dead. Son, be on your guard against prostitutes. Above all, marry a woman of our tribe, because we are descendants of the prophets. Do not marry anyone who is not related to us. Remember that Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our earliest ancestors, all married relatives. Yahuah blessed them with children, and so their descendants will inherit the land of Yasharal. Son, be loyal to your own relatives. Do not be too proud to marry one of them. Such pride leads to terrible frustration and ruin, just as laziness brings on severe poverty and causes starvation. Pay your workers each day. Never keep back their wages overnight. Honor Yahuah in this way, and he will reward you. Behave properly at all times. Never do to anyone else anything that you would not want someone to do to you. Do not drink so much wine that you get drunk, and do not let drinking become a habit. Give food to the hungry and clothes to the people in need. If you are prosperous, give generously and do it gladly. Man. When one of Yahuah's Amunaful people has died, prepare food for the family, but never do this when someone evil dies. Take the advice of sensible people and never treat any useful advice lightly. Take advantage of every opportunity to praise Yahuah your Yahuah. Ask him to make you prosper in whatever you set out to do. He does not give his wisdom to the people of any other nation. He is the source of all good things, but he can also destroy you and bring you to certain death if he wishes. Remember all my instructions. Do not forget them for 1 minute. Remember all my instructions and do not forget them for 1 minute. Man, that's so beautiful. There's so much to unpack there. And do not forget them for 1 minute. Guys, let's just unpack some of this. So now that I've asked Allah to let me to die, what was the first things Tobit said? Every day of your life, keep Yahuah our Yahuah on your mind. When you wake up, is Yahuah on your mind? When you're working hard, is Yahuah on your mind? When you get rewarded, is Yahuah on your mind? When you feel like you're prospering, do you feel like is Yahuah on your mind? When you're going through a tough time, is Yahuah on your mind? I'll ask myself, when these things happen to me, is Yahuah on my mind? I'd love to tell you yes, but can I tell you that confidently? No. Yahuah is on my mind when he's on my mind, but I don't know if that's all the time. I'd like to say it's all the time, but I can't tell you that confidently. There's times I mess up. There's times I have other things on my mind. But looking at this advice, we need to keep Yahuah our Yahuah on our mind at all times. At all times. Never sin deliberately or disobey any of his commands. This is all verse 5, by the way. Never sin deliberately. Man, do you know how many times I've sinned deliberately? You know how many times I've sinned knowing before I committed the sin it was going to be a sin and still did it? If I had $1 for every time I did, I'd be rolling in cash. I'd have so much money. And that's not a flex. Always do what is right and never get involved in anything evil. Man, this is all verse 5, by the way. Guys, we always have to do what's right and never get involved in anything evil. If people are partaking in something evil or goes against what we know is right or what Yahuah wants for us or what his will is for us, we need to depart. We need to separate ourselves. We need to get away immediately because we shouldn't be partaking in anything evil. It doesn't matter if we love the person. It doesn't matter if they're our mom, our dad, our sibling. If they're partaking in something evil, separate yourself. It's unacceptable. Partaking in it is inexcusable. Always, always, always we have to separate ourselves. Verse 6, be honest and you will succeed in whatever you do. Be honest. Man, honesty is the best policy. Everybody's heard that. But we need to be honest. We need to be honest. Verse 7, give generously to anyone who faithfully obeys Allah. Man, reading this, I just feel like I'm having a therapy session with the camera, exposing myself. Give generously to anyone who faithfully obeys Allah. Do I do that? No. Do you? And I'm not trying to be gratuitous when I ask. I'm not asking you that, trying to like say, do you? Because I don't. Like, no. I'm just asking, do you? I don't. I don't give generously to anyone who faithfully obeys Allah. I need to start doing that. It says, if you are stingy in giving to the poor, Allah will be stingy in giving to you. Man, I've given to the poor, and I've been stingy when I've done it. And I'm not saying these things trying to make it seem like, oh, like I'm all humble or like I don't. No, I'm just reading this verse and I don't know what else to do but be honest. As I'm asking you questions, I don't know what else to do but be honest about what I do myself. If you are stingy in giving to the poor, Allah will be stingy in giving to you. I've been stingy in giving to the poor. And it's funny because Yahuah has blessed me tremendously. I'm not saying this verse is wrong, but he still blessed me. He's taken care of me. He's always done that. So we need to make sure we're not stingy in giving to the poor. Verse 8, give according to what you have. The more you have, the more you should give. Even if you have only a little, be sure to give something. Verse 9, this is as good as money saved. You will have your reward in a time of trouble. Man, let's go to verse 9, guys. This is as good as money saved. Giving to the poor. If we have little, giving as much as we can. If we have a lot, giving more, giving abundantly. This is as good as money saved. Guys, are you more fixated? Is your mindset more focused on trying to save every dollar? Or is your mindset more focused on trying to give as much as you can to the ones in need? Because giving to them helps them, and it's better than money saved. Better than money saved. And then it says, you will have your reward in a time of trouble. Every time I've been in trouble, Yahuah's been there. Every time I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, he came. He was the light every single time. Verse 10 through 11, taking care of the poor is the kind of offering that pleases Allah and Shamayim. Do this and you will be kept safe from the dark world of the dead. Son, be on guard against prostitutes, man. Be on guard against prostitutes. Man, I'm trying to think what could be more dangerous to a man than himself, first and foremost, his desires and his wickedness, but secondly, a prostitute. Because when prostitutes come around a man, it's so easy to fall. It's so easy to partake in wickedness, sexual immorality, fornication. Is it the prostitute's fault? No, first and foremost, it's the man's fault. Because we're the problem. Why are we letting ourselves succumb to that, if you do? But be on guard against prostitutes. The next couple of verses, Tobit talks about marrying someone in the tribe. That I've seen that in scripture. Tobit is very, very serious about marrying within the tribe with his family, though. I've noticed that throughout this writing. He's very serious about that. Pay your workers each day. Never keep back their wages overnight. Man, if you have workers, if you have a company, a business, pay them. Never withhold their money. Behave properly at all times. Honor Allah in this way and he will reward you. Behave properly at all times. Verse 15, never do to anyone else anything that you would not want someone to do to you. Man, that's tough. Have you ever done something to someone you wouldn't want done unto you? I know for a fact I have. I've said things I would not want said to me. I've done things I would not want done to me. And you know what the craziest thing is? I've done those things to people that I love, to people that mean the most to me, to the people that are closest to me, and I hold dearest to me. It's unacceptable. Do not drink so much wine that you get drunk, and do not let drinking become a habit. Is drinking a sin? No. Is wine a sin? No. None of those things are wicked. It's the overindulgence of it that can get you messed up. That could really ruin you. So do not drink so much wine that you get drunk, and do not let drinking become a habit. Verse 16, give food to the hungry and clothe. Keep giving, guys. We got to keep giving. But it says, give food to the hungry and clothes to the people in need. If you are prosperous, give generously, do it gladly. When you give, don't just do it for a reward. Do it gladly and do it because you genuinely want to do it. Remember, man looks at outward appearance, but Yahuah looks at the heart. So you can do your deeds. Doing a good deed is like cleaning something with a filthy rag. Like something Yahuah said something among those lines. It's like cleaning like a stain with a rag. Like it's not the end all be all. It's honestly not as much as you think it probably is. But Yahuah sees your heart. So if you're going to do something, make sure you're not just doing it for the reward. Make sure you're doing it for the right reason. Do it gladly. Verse 18, take the advice of sensible people and never treat any useful advice lightly. Man, have you ever treated useful advice lightly and then got spanked off of it? I've done it, bro. I've gotten some useful advice. I did not take it. And guess what happened to me? Things that were not useful. Verse 19, take advantage of every opportunity to praise Yahuah your Allah. Ask him to make you prosper in whatever you set out to do. He does not give his wisdom to the people of any other nation. He is the source of all good things, but he can also destroy you and bring you to a certain death if he wishes. Let's read that verse 19. Let's break it down. Take advantage of every opportunity to praise Yahuah your Allah. Man, we need to be taking hallelujah Yahuah. I think that's my first time doing this today since I've woken up. Praising Yahuah. Aside from let's say when I pray. That's crazy. Man, we should be taking every advantage of an opportunity we have to praise Yahuah our Allah. We got to ask him to make us prosper in whatever we set out to do. He does not. But look at the end of this verse, or a part of it. He is the source of all good things. Yahuah is the source of all good things. But he can also destroy you and bring you to a certain death if he wishes. So be humble. All right, guys. So now that was Tobit chapter 4, verse 5 through 19. Now I'm just going to go through a couple more verses. I'm just going to show you like one verse from a couple different writings. And I'm going to show you something from a section of a book that I really like. And then I promise we're done. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear matter of fact, no, we're going to save that. We're going to save that. Deuteronomy 10:12 through 13. And now, Yashral, what does Yahuah your Allah require of you but to fear Yahuah your Allah, to walk in all his ways and to love him, to serve Yahuah your Allah with all your heart and with all your soul, and to keep the commandments of Yahuah and his statutes, which I command you today for your good. Man, we got to read that again. And now, Yashral, what does Yahuah your Allah require of you but to fear Yahuah your Allah? We got to fear him. What does it say in Proverbs? I think it says the fear of Yahuah is the beginning of all wisdom and all understanding. To walk in all his ways and to love him. We got to walk in all his ways, and we have to love him. Love him at all times. Remember, all things were created by him and for him. To serve Yahuah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul. Man, we got to serve him with everything, with all of our being. Verse 13, and to keep the commandments of Yahuah and his statutes, which I command you today for your good. Man, I got to go on a quick tangent. I can't not do this. Let me get a sip of water. Let's read that again. And to keep the commandments of Yahuah. Let me make sure I'm recording. Hold on. Oh, yeah, we're good. And to keep the commandments of Yahuah, and his statutes, which I command you today for your good. Man, you look at Christianity, you look at all these religions that talk about the law is done away with. You know, I'll make this tangent short. Pork, for example. People talk about, hey, don't eat pork, right? I mean, you can eat pork. The law's done away with. Okay, aside from the fact that the law is done away with, which obviously it's not, but the not eating pork part. Man, did you guys think not being able to eat it was a burden? Do you think Yahuah is a time waster? Do you think he just peruses in life and he's like, man, let me just throw this commandment out. It might be beneficial. No. You know what's wrong with pigs? They're the trash cleaners of the earth. They eat anything and everything. They clean waste. They will take anything you give them. Would you want someone around you? Just think about it. Would you want a person around you that consumes anything and everything put in front of them, thrown their way, or that they find? No, of course you wouldn't. Just a side note. Pigs clean up the earth. They eat anything. And you want to put that in your body? Yahuah gave us that commandment to protect us. They're literally unclean. Don't eat certain seafood like lobsters, crab. They're bottom feeders of the ocean. Would you eat a cockroach? No, you wouldn't eat a cockroach because they're disgusting. They literally eat anything. So why are you eating the cockroaches of the sea? Why do you think that law's done away with? Yahuah gives us these laws and commandments to protect us. It's for our benefit. What does the end of this verse say? Which I command you today for your good. And to keep the commandments of Yahuah and his statutes, which I command you today for your good. They're for our own good. That's it for the tangent, though. Matthew 6:33. But seek first, this is Yahushua speaking, but seek first the kingdom of Allah and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Man, if we seek first the kingdom of Allah and his righteousness, we do his will, we seek his righteousness, we seek his kingdom, we do all these things. Our eyes are fixated on the right thing. All these other things will be added onto us. Don't worry about the other things. And this is me. I'm not just, especially this part, I'm not just saying this to you. I'm saying it to myself. Brother, I'm talking to myself. Bro, all the other things will be added onto you. Don't worry about it. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Man, I love this verse so much because I think this is like the end all be all. And this is how I think it's Solomon that wrote this. This is the second and last verse in the chapter, the last chapter of the book, I believe. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Allah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Guys, if someone ever asks you what the conclusion is of the whole matter, once you go through it, fear Allah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Hold on. Does Solomon write Ecclesiastes? We don't know. But if he did, he would be the wisest man. And he's the one that said that. So I would definitely listen to that. All right, so last thing I want to go through. This is in the book of Natsarim. I believe this writing to be valid. Do your own research on it. I mean, I believe it's valid. At least a lot of the things in here. The book in its totality, I'm still trying to figure that out. But I just want to go through this right here. In the book of Natsarim, I think this is chapter 16, verse 15 through 18. I really like this verse. And guys, we're just going to focus on this for the advice aspect of it. I think it's very applicable to all our lives. Okay, verse 15 through 18. When the man had gone, one of the disciples who came from beyond the western sea said, I have heard that 3 things only make men wholly good, but you have many Kadash books, which I cannot read. Tell me of the things which are in them. Yahushua said, store these things in your heart. They are sufficient for the day. Never utter curses against Yahuah or the powers about him, nor speak immodestly to exalt yourself. Do not act fraudulently and never exaggerate. Always maintain an even temper and do not act hastily. Never use violence unnecessarily, nor do anything causing unnecessary sorrow. Avoid anything to do with lewdness and obscenity. Commit no slander and speak no gossip. Never make mischief, so strife is brought into the lives of others. Tell no lies. Be humble without being servile, and be clean in all your ways. Whatever you do to earn your bread, do to the best of your ability. Fulfill all your daily obligations, and in the time left to you, serve a cause which is good. Add these things to the teachings you have heard, and you will live a good life. Another disciple said, a good man soon loses his friends. Yahuah replied, no goodness like adversity winnows them. Man, I love that so much. Just one thing I want to break down here. Matter of fact, no, we got to unpack this, bro. Yahuah said, store these in your heart. These will be sufficient for the day. He didn't say this is all you need. He said, these will be sufficient for the day. Remember the context. The man said, I've heard that 3 things only make a man wholly good, but you have many Kadash books, which I cannot read. Tell me of the things which are in them. Yahuah says, store these things in your heart. They are sufficient for the day. Never utter curses against Yahuah or the powers about him. Man, never. We got to make sure we never utter curses about Yahuah or the powers about him. Man, what is it? Blasphemy against Yahuah or blasphemy against the Ruach is an unforgivable sin? Man. Nor speak immodestly to exalt yourself. Never speak immodestly just to exalt yourself. Never. That's not a good look. Do not act fraudulently and never exaggerate. Man, I've acted like a fraud before. I've been around certain groups and try to act like something I'm not, or try to change who I am to be perceived a certain way. Man, do not act fraudulently and never exaggerate. How often do we exaggerate? Or I'll have an issue. There'll be some kid in another country or in America who's 8 years old dying from cancer. There'll be a kid whose mom and dad both died in an accident. They're 12 years old. They have no siblings and they only have one aunt. And they don't even want to take care of them. And they can tell. But the aunt takes them in because they feel like they have a fiduciary responsibility to do so. There's kids in other countries who would do anything to get a sip of water right now. There's kids in other countries that are so hungry, they haven't had food in so long, that even a piece of chicken that's cooked in water with no seasoning would taste so good. It'll taste like ice cream, like dessert, like a 5-star meal at a restaurant. There are people going through so many things, but I'll have one issue. And I'll act like the world is over. I'm like, man, I got this issue. This happened. Bro, this happened at work. Like, this thing happened with money. I don't know if I can do this. I'm not happy. I didn't wake up on time today. Bro, stop being so full of yourself. There are people going through so many things. Stop exaggerating. Always maintain an even temper. Man, being even keel is a superpower. You know where the best people to be around? Not the ones that go here, because you know what? They're like roller coasters. They fluctuate up and down. But the people that are always right here, you know why? Because they're more predictable. I'd rather be around more predictable, people. But they're always like this. They're always even keel. They always have an even temper. When something bad happens, they don't go here. When something good happens, they don't go here. They're like this. A great day? Oh yeah, great day. Bad day? Right here. But they're always right here. Always maintain an even temper and do not act hastily. Don't be haste. I have that issue. Never use violence unnecessarily. Is violence bad? Not always. Just don't use it unnecessarily. Sometimes violence is mandatory. It's mandatory. Nor do anything causing unnecessary sorrow. Yeah, definitely. Avoid anything to do with lewdness and obscenity. Of course, we already know that. Commit no slander and speak no gossip. Man, I'll be honest. There are times where drama, gossip, once in a while when it comes up, it's fun to talk about. I can't lie. I don't engage in it all the time. I don't want to. But sometimes it's like a little gossip and drama can be interesting. It can be like, man, what's going to happen? But we got to make sure that we commit no slander and speak no gossip. Never make mischief so strife is brought into the lives of others. Of course, tell no lies. Man, we got to make sure we do not lie. Be humble without being servile. Man, be humble without being servile. I'll give you my interpretation of this. Guys, we need to make sure we're humble individuals. We're people that don't try and exalt ourselves or act like we're more than we are. We need to be humble. When we're around people, be humble. But with being humble comes this. A lot of people think you're weak. A lot of people think you're soft. They think you can be taken advantage of. They think you're impressionable. Always be humble without being servile. Now, we need to serve people, but don't be servile in the sense of you're sacrificing what you believe in. You're sacrificing what you know is right, and you're doing things that are wrong. Make sure I'm still recording. All right, perfect. We're good. Don't be servile to the point. Don't be servile at the cost of doing what's right, or at the cost of your morality, or at the cost of righteousness. Don't be so humble to the point. Be humble, but without being servile. So don't be servile to that point where like you're around people and like, man, I really want to help them and be kind and serve them, but it kind of goes against what I know is right. It kind of goes against his will for us. No, be humble without being servile. And be clean in all ways. There we go. That's a great way to summarize the point I just made. Literally, be humble without being servile and be clean in all ways. Whatever you do to earn your bread, do to the best of your ability. Man, whatever you do to earn your bread, do to the best of your ability. That is phenomenal advice. I mean, this is all phenomenal advice, but man, whatever you're doing, whenever you're working, if you're working at McDonald's, do it to the best of your ability. If you're making $7 an hour, picking up waste, do it to the best of your ability. If you're providing for your family and you work at a desk all day and you collect data on a computer, do it to the best of your ability. If your job is to hold up a sign out in public, do it to the best of your ability. You know why? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything, but more importantly, whatever you do to earn your bread, do to the best of your ability. Always do everything to the best of your ability. Fulfill all your daily obligations. And in the time left to you, serve a cause which is good. If you have daily obligations, make sure you fulfill it. Wake up every single day, make sure you fulfill it. And in the time left to you, serve a cause which is good. What's the best cause to serve than the cause Yahuah did? To serve Yahuah. For us, like we need to serve Yahuah. We need to worship Yahuah. We need to praise him. We need to help other people. We need to take care of them. We need to be good people. Add these things to the teachings you have heard, and you will live a good life. Verse 17 and 18. Another disciple said, a good man soon loses his friends. Yahuah replied, no goodness like adversity winnows them, which is facts. You know who are the people you want to keep around you? The ones you've been through adversity with and are still there. And that's all I have, guys. Hallelujah. I feel like this was really good. This was really insightful. This is going to be real beneficial. It's been real beneficial for me. I hope it was for you. And I want to end it with that Ecclesiastes 12:13 verse again. Let us hear the conclusion of the... Damn, I spit. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Allah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That's it, guys. Take care.